Hello everyone. Today I'm here with Théo, PtitDrogo Freydière, a Protoss player from France, currently playing for mYinsanity. He recently played in the World Championship. We'll talk about everything in a few moments. So hello Théo, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good right now, thank you.
Great. So we had a small introduction about you, but could you tell me a bit more about yourself?
Well, I'm a 21-year-old StarCraft player. I play Protoss. I'm playing for Team mYinsanity, and in general, I just like to play video games, I guess.
I see. I see that you are also a One Piece fan, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so does your nickname have any special meaning or significance? How did you come up with it?
Not really. I often get like Game of Thrones jokes because of PtitDrogo, but it just came like it's a really stupid story. At first, I wanted like when I was like 10 years old, I wanted to be PtitDrogo because dragons means dragons. Well, it's the same in French and English, but it was one letter like I was limited by the number of letters on this one site I wanted to be in, so I had to shorten it to PtitDrogo. But I didn't like Drago Malfoy from Harry Potter. I didn't
Yeah,
like him, so I changed one letter to Drago, and it sounded a lot cooler. So I just went with that, and I just kept the name for 11 years.
quite interesting. So how did you pick up StarCraft and what do you like most about it?
I mean, like I first started like StarCraft Boudoir when I was like really small, just because my father was playing it, so I was trying to play it a little bit, but I wasn't playing anything serious, like just the campaign with the mouse. And then like for StarCraft II, like I don't know, at some point I just watched like a French cast of like one of the really early beta games. I was like, oh shit, it's StarCraft II. It looks amazing. It looks really nice. So I'm just gonna play it. What I like most about it, I don't know, I just feel like it's like the coolest game out there. It's like a lot of games are really interesting, but StarCraft is just the one that struck me as like being the most interesting out of all of them. Obviously, right now I've been playing it for 6 years, so this oh my god, this is amazing feeling kind of went away on Let's Play routine. But I think if I was to just stop playing StarCraft for like a month, if I were to pick it up again, I would like be really amazed at the game once again. I just think it's the coolest game there is, for no reason in particular, really.
That's awesome. Have you played any other real-time strategies games before? Like Age of Empires?
I play like Age of Empire, Rise of Nation, Age of Mythology, Time of War. Yeah, a lot of them.
Alright, StarCraft is what kept your attention. That's nice. So how do you approach each tournament and how do you prepare in order to be in shape?
Well, it depends on the type of tournament. Sometimes you're gonna play a specific opponent, and sometimes it's gonna be groups. In general, when it's groups, you will always just like try to play ladder and be good overall. But when you prepare for specific opponents, really often you're just gonna play like this one matchup because winning early on in the tournament is like really important. So you usually like even if you're like a really good player, you're still gonna focus quite a bit on the first match, just preparing for the guy.
I see. So what do you think is a really underexplored or underdeveloped trait that a lot of top StarCraft players have?
Like it's really hard to speak for other players. I can just speak for myself, and I'm really aware of my own weaknesses, I say. So I could tell you like that my like I think my multitask is decent, but I have trouble with like controlling um, uh, with army. Like I'm someone that's if you play StarCraft, you know what F2 is. F2 is the all army hotkeys, and I tend to abuse it a little bit too much. So that makes it that controlling like several groups of army at once, not really like in a lot of places, but if I have one army with like 4 different spellcaster, I'm going to have a bit of trouble controlling that as soon as the action starts because I'm just gonna press F2. So in my personal experience, it's very rare to have players like that are able to control a really technical army and at the same time play like defend the drops, defend the aggression, like doing everything at the same time and on top of it controlling a hard army is something that only the very top Protoss player can do. And I can only really speak for myself and for Protoss in general.
I see, interesting. So back in January, you won a DreamHack, marking your first big win in a Premier tournament. How did that feel?
I mean, obviously, like winning a tournament, especially such a big one, felt pretty amazing. And like I didn't like feel really in general, I guess the best thing about it was that I went to Korea for a month for Legacy of the Void, and I practiced really hard. And in general, at the beginning of the year, I practiced really, really hard. And I really felt like I was kind of rewarded for that. Like, this kind of, like, when I practiced a lot, and then I win something, it just really, yeah, I'm having trouble finding like exact eloquent words to describe it.
Yeah.
But just being rewarded, like having your practice being rewarded is always the best feeling, because really often you have to keep yourself that you have to keep going. But when it actually happens, it's the best.
It's a great feeling since your practice, your hard work didn't go in vain. So I can only imagine. You recently also competed at the World Championship. How was the experience, as it was your first time, right?
Yeah, like I think I wasn't the only one being a first timer here, since a lot of foreigners were here for the first time. It's definitely interesting. It was kind of in some tournaments, like the big DreamHacks, there's like 100 players, and these tournaments are very nice. But I really like it when it's like a few players, and they all practice really, really hard for these really prestige tournaments. It doesn't really often happen, this kind of situation. But I really like it. Like obviously they took super good care of us, like with the hotels, with the food. So you feel kind of like a star a little bit, and I don't know. I practice a lot. Even after losing the tournament, I practice a lot. And in general, the event is pretty nice. And I don't know. I guess this is not really what people want to hear when you ask this kind of question. But I really felt like a VIP at this tournament, more than kind of like when I was in China, because the Chinese guys are always very nice. They treat you like a star. But it was kind of the same here. Like I really felt like cared for, and people were like, "Okay, this is StarCraft. It's a big deal. We're gonna take care of you guys." Because really often you have a tendency to focus on the bad experiences in tournaments. So when you have like a tournament that's just amazing, then you don't focus on the negative, but you don't really like praise it too much. It was just very nice overall. I'm gonna stop with this.
It's great to hear that you got a lot of attention and you got taken care of. But did that make you more anxious?
I mean, getting a lot of attention is not the word I was looking for. In general, it's not what I go for when I play StarCraft. And I didn't play on the very big stage, so it wasn't too bad. Oh yeah, I mean, I guess I did go with the beret. Did you see that?
Yeah.
I had a beret. I guess you could call this attention more a little bit. So I will actually not try to defend myself too much. Okay, I plead guilty on this one. But in general, it was very nice, especially because I didn't do like too bad of a tournament. I think losing to Dark on stat is not really too bad. I won against Snoot, and I kind of didn't expect that. So, yeah, just a good tournament.
That's awesome. Okay, let's say that you are in charge of making some changes in StarCraft. What would you change?
I don't really know. Like this. When you want to change StarCraft, there's two things that you want to change. There's the design, or there's the balance. I have a lot of opinions about the balance. But in general, when people want to talk about this, they want to talk about the design. They want to make StarCraft the best game that it can be. And as far as design goes, I really don't have too much of like good ideas. Often what I see too much is there's like something happening, then it becomes a norm, and then wanting the opposite is like becomes immediately like the good thing. Like someone already is gonna be like, oh, we have so much of this, why don't we have that? And they forget that was so much other fucking bullshit. The number of people I see on Reddit these days praising Wing of Liberty as a good game is mind-boggling. If you were like to go back right now and have the same level of gameplay, like because back then obviously the game was popular, but as far as gameplay goes, it was fucking utter shit. Like it will be so insanely boring if we had that in Legacy of the Void. So I'm really happy with the design, I guess. Sure, you could change some stuff, but I don't think it would be too significant. They just released a big patch right now. There's still a lot of really obvious, in my opinion, balance problems in every race. Like every race has broken stuff right now that needs fixing pretty bad. I'm gonna give an example off the top of my head. There's the Carrier, obviously for Protoss, that's just too strong. There's the Reapers. Doesn't really concern Protosses, but TVZ kind of looks like a joke with Reapers. And as far as Zerg goes, I think the Banelings is just kind of a huge problem. Right now we don't see it too much because Protoss just play Carriers every game, so the Baneling train kind of stopped a little bit. but I still think it's a huge problem in PvZ. That kind of forced the Protoss. I'm not gonna expand too much on the meta game. I'm not gonna go in that strategy talk. But the banelings needs to change, man. Plus 10 HP was too much.
I see.
Okay, but you know, like I'm good at balance whining. That's all I am good for. So I can whine about the balance all day. But changing StarCraft, really, I'm a player, I guess. Maybe one day I will change my opinion on this and be like really have strong opinions on the design. But for now, I really don't.
All right. I hope you will see some of the things you would like to see implemented soon. So about the matchups, which one do you feel is the matchup that you have the most difficulties against?
I think it would definitely be PvT. And it's not only Legacy of the Void. Like since I started playing this game, PvT was always the hardest matchup for me. And it's not so much that I could pinpoint exactly what is bad about PvP. It's PvT, excuse me. It's more than I've always been comfortable in PvZ. On PvP was always kind of in 50-50, you know, kind of okay. But PvT, I don't know. I feel like I can always lose the game in PvT at any point in time, and it's a lot more difficult. I guess it's kind of like the playstyle. What I like in PvZ is that you can, you know, some people they try to terrorize StarCraft and say that there's an active and reactive playstyle. I don't think it's a good way to look at StarCraft. But in this case, in this particular case, it would be kind of accurate. Because in PvZ, I'm very active. I do this, then I do this, then I do this, then I do this, and the Zerg has to keep up. And in PvT, it's kind of the contrary. I can't really like put pressure on the Terran too much. I'm not the one like that's leading the game, that's telling, okay, what's gonna happen. It's the Terran that's gonna do a drop, then he's gonna do another drop, then he's gonna do this follow-up. At some point, sure, I have a good late game, but being reactive all the time, I feel like it's just harder to win, a little bit harder, for me at least. For some players, they love defense, and they don't really like attacking too much. I guess I'm kind of an attacking guy at the end of the day.
All right. So, what are your goals for StarCraft this year, and maybe the first months of the upcoming year?
Yeah, like I think I want to be one of the very best. Obviously, I want to be the best. That never changed, but more than a guy that just he did pretty good. He did pretty good. We don't really. I want to be someone that people expect to win, like pretty much, because you have the needs, you have the showtimes, you have the nurture. I kind of want to be up there, you know, like one of the players that are like truly respected, and you always like expect them to win, which is pretty much anybody.
One of the favorite.
Yeah, like the favorite. Like I'm honestly pretty good at like I think a lot of pro players would like to be in my position. Not really skill-wise, but like in my results in 2016. And if I do another 2016 in the next year, it will be obviously great. Like this kind of years doesn't come cheap. But I obviously want to do more. I want to be one of the top runners. I guess would be my realistic goal.
All right, sounds good. Do you plan to stream?
Yeah, like it's not really like on my mind, but when I'm waiting for my apartment right now. I should have it like at the very beginning of 2017, or maybe at the end of December. I'm not sure. And when I'm gonna be here, I'm gonna stream from time to time, but it's just, you know, to have fun, just because I haven't done it in a long time. It's not gonna be like I'm not gonna be a player streamer. Lots of people try to do that. To be fair, I tried with the Twilight Council thing, but it was because I was in a situation where we could kind of share the work with two other people. If I'm just all alone doing it, I don't think I can do it. So yeah, streaming, I'm gonna do it some, but not at the top of the list of priority.
All right. So do you have any advice or thoughts you'd like to share with your fans or other aspiring competitive players that want to be like you?
I mean, like for my fans, it's gonna be like, thanks for watching. For me, guys, and I always feel like, as far as pro player goes, I'm one of the players that will throw the games the hardest. You know, when you are ahead in a game in a good position, but then you lose. I feel like I'm one of the worst case in this kind of thing. So I feel sorry for my fans sometimes when I mess up really hard. But so sorry for that, and thanks for sharing for me anyway. And for the aspiring pro player, I would say that one of the things that is really important is pretty much to never give up. I never really thought at any point, I'm gonna stop StarCraft. I never really thought about that seriously. Like maybe for like 2 hours after really bad losses. But like I realized was like, okay, let's just keep playing, man. And when I was in the mYinsanity house, at the end of the day, I had a very good memory. I felt like I was like very active. I was always doing something, but the results were like not that good. I qualified for the WCS Challenger. Then I failed the 2 next season when I was like at the top of the ladder, but I still failed the 2 next seasons in really dramatic and bad fashion. And I could have stopped now. Lots of people stopped at this time, but I just kept going. And eventually, 2016 was my year, and it's been very great. So yeah, like never give up, and always try to accomplish something more. Never settle for what you are right now. I guess it would be my biggest advice.
Hard work pays off after all. Okay, so I think it's time to proceed to the serious part of this interview. So I want you to tell me your favorite type of food.
I guess French food. Like I eat all over the world, and usually it's really amazing. Like I kind of like Korean food as far as of the tropical, as far as the foreigners food goes. Like because Korean food is very safe. I'm kind of a shy when it comes to taste, and I like really safe food. I like a big piece of meat with potatoes, with pastas, with a little bit of salad. But if it goes spicy, if it goes weird, I really don't like it.
All right, simple things.
I don't know, like pastas and lasagnas. I guess I like it.
Awesome. Okay, let's say you can spend a day with any person on the planet. Who's your pick? Any person.
I mean, I don't know. Like I'm a pretty huge D9 fanboy, so I guess it would be D9. But I would feel pretty bad forcing him to spend a day with me. I think it would bore him pretty quickly. but still, if I go about it really selfishly, I guess it would be D9.
All right. Let's say you're a castaway on a remote, isolated island. You have to choose one StarCraft personality to help you survive. Who would it be?
It's really. I should have thought about it more, but the first name that comes to mind is Welmo. Because I feel like Welmo, you know, like we say about him that he's such a cool guy, he's always cool, but he's really cool. And I feel like it would be no problem for him to be on a deserted island. Even in StarCraft, even in his shit situation, I always feel like he always does something that can work. Only if everybody goes to shit and there's no hope of surviving, I think Welmo will have a shot, pretty much.
Great. Okay, I think we can wrap it up. Do you have any final shout-outs?
Yeah, like shout out to my team, mYinsanity, great team, and we're still with them. I think we have sponsors, I guess. Yeah, thanks Logitech and I don't know, the best video game store ever, G2A, Kipo, and yeah, like thanks to Wargaming, thanks to my fan, thanks to you guys, and thanks for having me here. We got to you.
Thank you, the honor was all mine. So you can all follow PtitDrogo on Twitter. I have it written right here at mYi, mYinsanity, PtitDrogo. You can drop him a follow, please. Also, somewhere on the screen you will see my subscribe button appear. Please subscribe if you enjoy those interviews. So thank you again. Thank you once again for having this interview with me. Thank you everyone for watching. Till the next time. Bye.
See ya.